Good evening and welcome to the news. The government has launched a project for the revival of the cinnamon industry for economic benefits. This was during a press conference this afternoon. While launching the project, the Minister for Investment, Entrepreneurship and Industry, Mrs. Devika Vidot, called on potential investors to take the opportunity to invest in the cinnamon sector, especially with value-added products such as cinnamon oil, which have great potential on the international market. Mrs. Vidot says that the government has been working on a comprehensive plan on identifying natural resources found in Seychelles that it will promote for private investors to engage in, mainly for exportation. The government will also be making land available for investors.
Cinnamon is one of the resources that are found abundantly in the Seychelles. It is also an invasive species which requires constant attention, constant care through the Ministry of Environment, where they have to undertake a lot of effort to keep this species under control. We have selected cinnamon as the pioneer of this program, essentially. Why today is because cinnamon is the resource which is most available, I would say, which is easier. And on top of that, the Seychelles also has a history of harvesting of cinnamon. So it is something that we are used to. It is not something new.
What will be the government's input into the project?
The government will make available a resource which is very finite and rare, and that is land. So the government will make available land to investors that will present to them the opportunity to harvest cinnamon. And the idea behind the initiative, behind the program, is to help investors and promote an idea of producing for value addition products. So using cinnamon for value addition products, because this is where we find that, based on the market research that we have undertaken, is that this is where the most wealth lies.
Drugs recovered when Coast Guards intercepted a fishing boat have been valued at around 20 million rupees. Police say preliminary tests indicate the packages tossed overboard from the Baba Ali contained heroin and hashish. 7 suspects are under investigation for conspiracy, trafficking, and importing controlled drugs. The Supreme Court has remanded the 3 Seychellois and 4 foreigners for 14 days as investigations continue. The Baba Ali was intercepted during a multi-agency operation 160 nautical miles northeast of Mahé. The non-governmental organization WASO has strongly condemned a recent incident of abuse against children. It has called for zero tolerance against those who carry out such vile acts against women, girls, boys, and young people in general. It points out that children are powerless and defenseless, and abusing them will only tarnish the image and fabrics of our society. WASO said the recent incident has put the spotlight on the need for good parenting and has called on parents to carry out self-examination to see if they are not indirectly responsible for abuses against the children. The NGO has also called on those entities responsible for the welfare of children to join hands and work together to end child abuse in the country. The Minister for Health, Peggy Vidot, said COVID-19 cases are really going down and that this was not due to the fact that her ministry is carrying out less rapid testing. It was the leader of the opposition, Sébastien Pillet, who had raised this point in the National Assembly this morning following another question on the sudden surge and reduction in cases this month. She said there could be several reasons for the surge, surge, such as the easing of restrictions and people letting down their guards, whereas reimposing restrictions and the continued vaccination program are helping to bring the numbers down. The ambassador of Georgia to Seychelles, Zurab Valishvili, is willing to have more exchanges between Seychelles and Georgia in the education sector. This was one of the main points of discussion between Ambassador Valishvili and President Wavel Ramkalawan this morning at State House. He said that it is important that the two countries continue to strengthen the bilateral relations since they share the same interest, particularly in tourism.
I met His Excellency when he was leader of opposition in 2019 and was excited to meet him again. Our main discussion was about bilateral relations between Seychelles and Georgia, because we both are small countries. We need each other's support in international organizations. We are similar countries. I mean, tourism is one of the main our issues. So the main cooperation we could be in educational field, giving fellowships to Seychelles students so that they can get education in Georgia, in medical sphere, in technical issues and so on.
After his visit to the president, Georgia's ambassador also met with the Minister for Transport, Anthony Dejac. They discussed new air links between Seychelles and Georgia. Ambassador Valishvili said that Georgia would provide international accreditation for maritime training certificates issued here. The minister also held talks with Sri Lanka's High Commissioner to Seychelles on bilateral cooperation and ways that Sri Lanka can assist Seychelles in its development.
I have made certain suggestions on cooperation, expertise, and help from the Republic. And I've even suggested certain infrastructure and where there could be help. His Excellency has been most kind. He has stated that he would look into it and he would welcome any suggestions from us.
We are very keen to work together with the Transport Minister and the Ministry and also with be involved with their infrastructure development, and also they have expressed saying that they'll be giving their priority list to us where we can look into it and then see how we can assist the Seychelles Transport Minister.
The leader of United Seychelles, Patrick Emini, has congratulated the current president of African Union, Felix Tshisekedi, as the continent celebrates the anniversary of the African Union. It was on the 25th of May 1963 that the Organization of African Unity, the precursor of the AU, was formed in Addis Ababa. Its name and role changed in July 2002 when it became known as the African Union. Dr. Emini's message noted that historians will agree that political processes on the African continent would not have been possible without the OAU. He said that the 58th anniversary of the organization today is a time for reflections on the many challenges facing Africa. He particularly noted that Africa remains economically disadvantaged despite being the richest continent in the world. This injustice, Dr. Emini said, must be redressed. We've come to the end of this news summary. Thank you for your attention.